So you're thinking about living in San Diego, but you keep hearing about this place, Temecula, and you want to learn a little bit more about San Diego versus Temecula. Well, that's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to get into all the details, cost of living, and what does it cost to rent and own, and how much money am I going to make in these places? What's the weather like? What is schools? All that fun stuff. We're going to dive into all of that today so you can have a better idea of which location is going to be better for you. My name is Kyle Whistle, your guide to living in San Diego. I am one of those few born and raised San Diegans. I've lived here my entire 40 plus year life. I've been in the real estate industry for 20 plus years. And I'm going to share all of my experience with you to help you make the best decision for you and for your family. If you enjoy the content today, hit the thumbs up button, let YouTube know. If you want more of the content, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell. YouTube can take care of the rest. And if you got questions, throw them in the comment section. Love to do a little Q&A with you, answer any questions that you might have. With that said, let's get into the content. I'm going to shrink my giant head down here, and let's just get into the data. If you want links to any of the data that's shared today, it's all going to be in the description section down below. So feel free to check that stuff out if you want to cruise through it at your leisure. With that said, we got Temecula and San Diego as a whole here. So understand we're looking at San Diego County, the entire county, which includes all of the cities. With an understanding, San Diego's kind of diverse. You've got coastal communities like La Jolla versus inland communities like La Mesa. It's going to be a little bit different, right? Depending on where you're at. So just understand we're comparing the entire county, not the city of San Diego, but the county of San Diego versus Temecula. Figured it's easier to go that route so you can make the better decision. So first thing that's going to jump out at you, obviously, when you look at these, first thing you're going to, jump out is population's huge in San Diego. You got over 3 million people in San Diego, and you've had growth of just over 8%, almost 9% over the last couple of years. On the flip side, you got Temecula at about 114,000 people, but you're at 15.5% growth in the same time period. So Temecula has grown almost twice as fast as San Diego has over the last couple of years. Few reasons for that. One, as we get into, cost of living is going to be higher in San Diego, so a little bit less expensive to be in Temecula. And as you'll see, rents and home prices have risen significantly. And so a lot of people are moving up to Temecula because it's more affordable. That's a huge part of it. And Temecula's had a lot more land to build in San Diego. And so there's been a lot of new home communities being built in Temecula. So the housing supply has increased there, which is also part of why you've seen the population increase in Temecula. Some of the other things to look at, median income in San Diego, you're sitting at about 64,000 versus 78,000 in Temecula. So, on a median level, you're actually making a little bit more money in Temecula. So again, we'll get into cost of living. Strike out these median home prices on here. The data that Best Places has is not the most accurate. So I know it's on the screen, just pretend it's not there. Okay. We'll dive into some data from Redfin, which is a really accurate data source. Some of the other things, that jump out, and I think this is a huge one, is we got to look at the comfort index. And so what the comfort index is it's going to compare the climate between these two different locations. If you've never lived in California before, this thing called rain is kind of foreign to us. You'll see here in San Diego County, you're getting about 14 inches of rain a year, and Temecula is even lower than that at 12 inches of rain a year. So if you're somebody who loves rain, you're probably going to be disappointed with the amount of rain that you're going to get in either of these locations. The biggest difference you're going to find is your typical high temperature in the summer in San Diego is going to be in the low 80s, where you go into Temecula and you're going to be, in the mid 90s. So, and you'll find that in San Diego County too. If you go inland, when I say inland, further from the coast, you're going to have temperatures going to be similar to that. So you go to something like Poway, Santee, Escondido. You go to those communities, it can be a little bit warmer. But San Diego as a whole, you're looking at 81 degrees versus 94 degrees in Temecula. So definitely going to be a little bit warmer up in that Temecula area. So if you're looking for a nice cool climate, right, we get those ocean breezes in San Diego being much closer to the coast. That helps keep the temperature down. Low temps in the winter, we're sitting at 43 versus 41, pretty much identical. And snow average of 1 inch a year. Let's be clear here. We did San Diego County as a whole. San Diego, anywhere near the coast, there's no such thing as snow. I've lived here 40 years. I've never seen it. Now you could go drive up into the mountains of San Diego County, places like Mount Laguna, Palomar Mountain, Julian. You'll find some snow up there every once in a while. but you'll never see snow in San Diego. It could happen. I say never, but it's a very unlikely probability you'll see any snow. And we're at 0 up in Temecula. So that's kind of your climate, which I think is something that is important to look at. Because, when you're moving somewhere, you're moving not just for the house you live in, but it's the lifestyle that comes along with it. So when you have that cooler climate, it's going to change the things you do versus that warmer climate, right? Going out hiking when it's in the 90s every day is a little bit tougher versus when it's, down in the low 80s. So keep that in mind. We'll talk cost of living as a whole. So, they run this. 100 is basically the average for the United States. California is basically running at about 150. And if we go specifically into the cost of living in San Diego, you're at 154. So you're, more than 50% more expensive than the average across the United States. And you're just a little bit above the average for California. When we flip over to Temecula, now we're running at 142.6. So cost of living is a decent amount lower when you go into Temecula versus San Diego. And Temecula is even lower than California as a whole. So overall cost of living, you got to give the edge to Temecula here. And there's more detail, again, if you want to kind of dive in more specifically into grocery, health, housing, utilities, transportation, all that stuff. You can geek out on this. I'm a bottom line kind of guy. So 154.4 versus 142.6. So Temecula definitely gets the nod there. What I want to look at is, what does it cost to live in these places? Like I said, throw that data out from that main screen. I think it's a little outdated and things have been moving quickly. One of the things you'll learn when you live in San Diego is that our home values, our rents move much quicker than a lot of the rest of the country, especially if you're in the middle of the country. Midwest, you're not going to see things move nearly as fast as when you're on the coast and more specifically in California and San Diego. So what you're looking at right now, median rent in San Diego, and I'll make sure we look at this here. So I'm going to grab my little pen. We are talking right now, a 1-bedroom apartment in San Diego. You're looking at $2,200 a month. $2,200 a month. Kind of crazy to look at that. So it is not cheap to live in San Diego. So $2,200 a month in San Diego. Now, when you look over here on Temecula, throw this 298 out. There's some fluky data in here that skewed that. So let me scroll down here, get you the real data. So as of May 21st, 2022, you're looking at about $2,080 for a 1-bedroom. So not a huge difference on rent. $2,200 a month versus $2,080 a month. And let me just put these two side by side as well, because I think this can be really interesting to see is how quickly San Diego's going up. Temecula is a little bit more flat. So that kind of plays to the desirability of San Diego. There's just a lot more people coming in, and we just haven't been able to build as much new housing in San Diego as Temecula. They've got more open land. They've been able to build a lot more in Temecula. So that's helped keep things a little bit more flat. And then just for those of you guys, maybe you're a family looking more at a 3-bedroom, so I can just give you some of that data. So most recently, you're looking at about $4,000 for a 3-bedroom in San Diego. In Temecula, you're looking at about $3,000. So as you start to go up to bigger homes, it starts to get even more and more affordable to be in Temecula. So I think, again, that's another reason a lot of people are more open to that is, we talked about the median income tends to be a little higher in Temecula, but now it's a little bit more affordable to live in Temecula. So that's huge. And this data is from Zumper. So we'll make sure to link that up down below. And then let's go into, if you're looking at buying a home, obviously we run a big real estate team, Whistle Realty Group here in San Diego. We do have an office in Temecula as well. So we cover both areas, and we have 3 offices in San Diego County, 1 office in Temecula. So when we look at the median home price, what you're going to see on here is median home price in San Diego, you're at $875, up a little over 15% from a year ago. And in Temecula at $740, up about 17.5% from a year ago. So you'll see Temecula has been kind of increasing a little faster than San Diego has. And again, I think a big part of that is some people have been priced out of living in San Diego. So when you get priced out, you start to look at other options. And we got a map over here so you can obviously see the boundaries of San Diego County. And then Temecula is right here. So it's just the very first city you're going to come to as soon as you leave San Diego County, headed north, and inland San Diego. So when we're talking drive time, if we're talking about living in the middle of Temecula and we want to drive to, let's say, downtown San Diego, you're probably about an hour or so drive time without traffic. It's got to make sure we're clear here. Traffic going back and forth from Temecula, because you have a lot of people who've moved into Temecula and are commuting down to San Diego. If you're driving during those commuter hours where you're headed south in the mornings and you're headed north in the evenings, you're going to hit some traffic. So what might be an hour drive without traffic could be an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, depending on how the traffic is, if there's accidents and whatnot. So keep that in mind. What I've seen a lot of recently, I'm working with some clients right now moving from San Diego to Temecula, is they're going to sell their house here in San Diego for $1.5 million and go buy a home in Temecula for $1 million. And it's same type of home, $500,000 cheaper. And it's because they work remotely. They don't need to commute back and forth. And so it's a really good fit for them. So that's a scenario. Or if you like being in the car, I know there's a lot of people who like having a commute, have some, time to listen to the radio, podcast, make phone calls, or just kind of zen out. That could work for you. So you are going to save some money being up in Temecula. $135,000 difference on that median home price. So you're definitely going to get more for your money up there. The other thing too is homes in Temecula tend to be a lot bigger. So not only price wise, but when you think about the size of the home, the average size of the homes up there is going to be much larger than San Diego. A lot of our homes were built in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, where homes were built like 1,000, maybe 2,000 square feet, where today most homes being built are 2,000 square feet and higher. So not only are the prices lower in Temecula, but the amount of home that you're going to get for the price is going to be a pretty big difference. And then let's pop in here to some of the school information. Let me see if I can get this to load up. I'm going to look like it's going to load today. So we're going to keep moving on with the tour. Thing to know, schools in San Diego, when you go San Diego County as a whole, it's gonna change a lot depending on where you're at in San Diego. So kind of hard to look at the county as a whole. And then just like anywhere, you're gonna have good schools, bad schools, private schools. There's a really good resource, greatschools.org is a really good resource. So if there's a specific home that you're interested in, you can punch in an address, it'll tell you the schools, you can do some research. And then niche.com is another website that you can look at for school information. So we'll keep it moving here. So let's dive into the crime ratings, which, right, as a realtor, I gotta be a little careful with this stuff. I'm just gonna give you the data, right? I'm not gonna give you any opinions on this. I'm going straight data here, guys. Same one with the next one in case you're getting a little sneak peek ahead. Your violent crime rating, you're at 22.7% nationally, and you're at 19.7 in San Diego County. So you're going to be lower than the national average, which is great. But if we come over here to Temecula, 11.5, substantially lower. So as a whole, you're going to have a much lower violent crime rate in Temecula as you are in San Diego County. If we look at property crime, 35.4 is the national average. You're at 35.1 in San Diego. Temecula, you're 36.3. Both are right there, right around the average that you would expect. So it's kind of your crime ratings. And then this last one, no opinions here. This is just facts. You can see the source right up there, bestplaces.net. I'm not giving you any opinions, but just in case the political climate is something that's important to you, I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves. So you'll see, San Diego County tends to be a little bit, both are on the liberal side, but San Diego is definitely going to be a little more liberal than what you're going to find in Temecula. So if that's important to you, you got the data, right? So you can make that decision. So I hope that this was informative for you, give you a little bit of information between the two different places. You're going to get a lot more bang for the buck in Temecula. You're just going to have to deal with the commute. You're going to have to deal with a little bit warmer weather. If that makes sense for you, Temecula is great. Got a ton of friends that live there. We have an office there. So big fan of Temecula, great bang for the buck. If that's something you're looking for, could be a great fit. So if you're thinking about living in San Diego, you want to explore Temecula more, San Diego more, or any other area, if there's another one you want me to compare, throw it in the comment section. I'd love to see that. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want more of the content, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you're thinking about moving to Southern California, San Diego, Temecula, or any other area, we'd love the opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. and figure out what your goals are. And we can put a plan together to help you accomplish those goals. It's our phone number down below. You can call or text us anytime. That'll get you connected with my team. And we would love to help be your guide to living in San Diego. Again, my name is Kyle Whistle, Whistle Realty Group, your guide to living in San Diego. Hope you got a ton of value out of the show today. We'll see you soon.